you all are keeping fine. Take all precautionary measures and stay safe. So, today in this video, I'll deal with the chapter Matter and its Composition. This is the first chapter of chemistry. So, the name of the chapter is Matter and its Composition. This is your chapter number 1. The name is Matter and its Composition. So this is the first chapter, Matter and its Composition. In this chapter, the first topic which I have to deal with is matter. Dear students, matter is anything that occupies a space and has mass. What I said is matter is anything that occupies a space and has mass. It is known as matter that occupies a space and has mass. There are total 5 types of matter. You have to read about 3 types. I am writing all the 5 types. So types of matter are types of matter. The first one is solid. Second type is liquid. Third one is gas. Fourth is plasma. And the last one is plasma. This is fourth one, plasma. Then Bose-Einstein condensed state. Bose-Einstein condensed state. So there are total 5 types of matter. Solid is the first one, liquid is the second one, third is gas, fourth plasma, fifth Bose-Einstein condensed state. Solid state is the state you would have seen the chair, the desk, the benches. The matter which is very compact, very tight, and it is the molecules of the substance is close to each other, which can't be compressed easily. That is known as solid. Okay. Pen, the pen with which you write, that is also a solid matter. Second, liquid. Liquid can easily flow. It can be slightly compressed. And you would have seen the example, like if water or milk falls on the floor, it flows. So that is a liquid. Okay. Then the third one is gas. Air is filled in balloons. You would have observed it. We can easily compress the balloons because it is not closely packed and it can be easily compressed and it flow in all directions. That is a gas. Then certain particles, the particles on sun and star are the example of plasma state. So you have to read about 3 states of matter, solid, liquid and gas, relating with intermolecular force and intermolecular space. So as I said, matter is anything that occupies a space and has mass. So I will be telling you the activities to prove how matter has mass and it occupies space. So the first activity to prove that matter has mass, it can be done with the help of spring balance, cotton thread, empty can, water and pebbles. What is to be done? The spring balance, there is a hook at the bottom of a spring balance. So spring balance should be suspended from the hook, and with the help of cotton thread, an empty can is to be hung on the hook of the spring balance. If you will weigh the mass of the empty can, you can note down the reading from the pointer. The mass will be less. Then what has to be done? The empty can should be filled with water. Then after filling water in the empty can, which was hung from the hook of spring balance, you will observe that the pointer will be moving downward. It means the mass of the can which is filled with water will be more. So this is how it will be proved that matter has mass. I repeat what I said. This activity is given on page number 3 in your book. You can see from there. Just I am explaining it. You can understand it well. Okay. So you have to take spring balance, then cotton thread, empty can, water and some pebbles. What you have to do, you have to simply take that spring balance and suspend it from the hook. On that hook, with the help of cotton thread, an empty can should be hanged, and you have to read the pointer, the value on the pointer. You will find that the value is less. It means the mass of the empty can is less. After that, you have to fill the same can with water, and after filling water in that can, if you will note the reading from the pointer or note the value from the pointer, it will be higher. It means the pointer will move downward. This proves that matter has mass. The second activity is to prove that matter occupies space, and that can be done simply with the help of a glass tumbler. Glass tumbler simply means the glass, and normal glass do not have any handle. Okay, so glass tumbler means which is not having any handle. Simple glass I can say. So take a glass filled with water, put that glass in a bowl. Okay, then what you have to do, you have to put some pebbles in that glass filled with water. What will you observe? You would have done it at home with a glass of water. So as I said, whenever you take a glass filled with water and put ice into it, what happens, dear students? Some amount of water falls on the floor, isn't it? This would have happened with you certain times. So in this activity also the same thing we have to do and observe. So the glass tumbler filled with water which is put in an empty bowl, if you will put few pebbles in the glass filled with water, some amount of water from the glass will fall in the bowl. This proves that matter occupies space. The pebble is occupying space in the glass, and that is why some amount of water from the glass falls in the bowl. And you can check it. You can take the bowl which is having some amount of water, take out the pebble from the glass, pour back the water from the bowl in the glass. Again the level of water in the glass tumbler will be same as the previous one. So this is how we prove that matter occupies space. So the definition, the properties of matter is proved by these two activities. Matter is anything which occupies space and has mass. So how to prove that it occupies space? With the help of a glass tumbler activity. How to prove that it has mass? With the help of the empty can and then the same can filled with water. These two activities I have explained you. You can also read from the book, and if you have any doubt, you can just comment and ask. Coming to the next activity. This activity is to prove that air also has mass and it occupies a space. This activity also you would have done number of times you would have done it. So the activity is to be done with two balloons. You have to take two balloons and a scale. The scale with which you draw lines in your copies. So you will take the scale. And two balloons should be inflated of the same size. It means air should be filled in the balloons and the balloon should be almost of same size. So scale should be straight and you have to inflate two balloons. Hang both the balloons at both the ends of the scale at the equal size, okay, with the help of cotton thread. So this is how we are going to inflate two balloons of almost equal size. Then hang it with the help of cotton thread on the scale. Okay. Then what will you observe? The scale will be straight because both the balloons are inflated of the same size and they are tied at the same distance from the corner. So the scale will be straight. But if you prick one of the balloon with the needle, just prick one of the balloon with the needle, what will you observe? The air from this balloon will move out. Thus, the scale will be moving towards that balloon which is, then you will see that the scale will be moving towards the balloon which is still filled with water. I repeat, if you take the scale, tie 2 of the balloons inflated of the same size on that scale, then the scale will be straight. If you prick one of the balloon with the needle, the scale will be shifting or tilting towards, it will tilt towards the balloon which is still filled with air. This proves that air also has mass and it occupies space. Okay, so these are the activities which will help you to understand that matter is anything which occupies space and has mass. So the next topic will be related to composition of matter. So the next topic is related to the composition of matter. Composition of matter. So when we talk about the composition of matter, we have to study about atom and molecules. So first will be atom. As you know, matter consists of atoms. It means atom is the smallest unit which will make matter, or atom can be the building block for the matter. Atom is the smallest unit of a matter which may or may not exist independently but take part in a chemical reaction. Here I am writing the definition. You can write the definition in your copy also. Okay, so atom is the smallest unit of matter which may or may not exist independently. But it take part in a chemical reaction, that is atom. Then next is molecule. Molecules are bigger than atoms. Molecules are bigger than atoms, but still it is considered as the smallest unit of a substance. Molecule can be of two types. First can be molecule of an element. Then the next can be molecule of a compound. Molecule of a compound. Okay, so this is what I told you. Molecule can be of two types, molecule of an element and molecule of a compound. Molecule of an element will be formed when two or more atoms of the same type will combine together, like oxygen, one oxygen combines with next oxygen to form oxygen molecule. One hydrogen combines with next hydrogen to form hydrogen as a molecule. So this will be the example of molecule of an element, oxygen and hydrogen. In the same way, if I talk about molecule of a compound, the example can be H2O. Different elements, different atoms are combining to form a molecule of a compound. So this is the example of a molecule of a compound. Then the next example can be sodium chloride, NaCl. This is also the example of molecule of a compound. So this is how we can discuss about molecules of an element and molecule of a compound. So atom is the smallest unit of which may or may not exist independently. I repeat, atom is the smallest unit of a matter which may or may not exist independently but take part in a chemical reaction. Matter consists of atoms. And then we talk about molecule. Molecule is also the smallest unit of a substance which take part in a chemical reaction. Molecule can be of two types. One is molecule of an element, then the next one is molecule of a compound. Molecule of an element, if we talk about, these can be the example. Two same type of elements are combining to form the molecule of an element. If we talk about molecule of a compound, then two different type of elements will be combining to form the molecule of a compound. So this is how we have discussed about atom and molecule. Now we have to talk about arrangement of molecules in solid, liquid and gases. As in the beginning of this video, I told you what is matter, the property of matter, the activity to prove the property of the matter, and also we discussed about the type of matters, in which we discussed about solid, liquid and gases. Now the time is to talk about the arrangement of molecules in solid, liquid and gases. So let's proceed. Arrangement of molecules in solid, liquid and gases. So this is our next topic. Arrangement of molecules in solid, liquid and gases. Arrangement of molecules in solid, liquid and gases. So, as I told in the example of solid, liquid and gases, you can just recall what we have discussed. So students, as I said, we are going to discuss about the arrangement of molecules in solid, liquid and gases. Solid example are very easy, you all observe it in front of you every time. The pen with which you write, the box which you use, all are solids because the particles in these substances are very closely packed, they are compact, they are rigid and you can't compress it very easily. So all these are solids. Next is liquid, the water which you drink, that is a liquid because it flows very easily. It cannot be it is very slightly compressed. Then it also has mass, it occupies a space, but it is not closely packed, so it can flow. So that is a liquid. Gas, the air which is filled in balloons, you all would have played with the balloons. So the balloon is having air in it, which is a gas. So if you try to compress the balloon, you can easily compress it because gases, the particles of gases are not very tightly packed, they are not very rigid, not very compact. So they can easily flow in all directions and then you can easily compress it. So that is the example of solid, liquid and gases. When we talk about the properties of solid, liquid and gases, as I told you that solids are rigid, liquid can flow and gases can also easily flow, they can be compressed. So how is it so? For that we have to talk about intermolecular force of attraction and intermolecular space. So these are the two topics which will make you clear why solids and liquids and gases have these properties which we discussed just now. So the first point is intermolecular force of attraction. Intermolecular force of attraction. Intermolecular means in between two molecules. Force of attraction means the force which hold two or more particles together or molecules together. So intermolecular force is the force which hold the particles or the molecules together. And that is the reason solid is so compact, because the intermolecular force is very strong in solids. If you will understand this, you can easily write every answer of the questions related to give reason type of questions, which is based on solid, liquid and gases or intermolecular force or intermolecular space. So, as I said, solids have maximum intermolecular force of attraction. That is why they are closely packed, as the particles are strongly bonded with each other. Liquids can flow because they have less force of attraction between the particles. Gases can easily flow in all directions because the particles are not very tightly packed, as they have less force of attraction between the particles or the molecules. So, intermolecular force of attraction, if we consider in the case of solids, liquids and gases, solids will be having maximum force of attraction. Liquid will be having less than solid and gases will be having minimum force of attraction, minimum or least. This maximum is for solid, this less is for liquid, and minimum or least is for gases. So this is how we can discuss intermolecular force of attraction. In solids it is maximum, that is why they are very tightly packed, very compact, rigid, strong. Liquids, they are having less force of attraction as compared to solids, so they can easily flow, not tightly packed, not rigid. Gases, they have minimum force of attraction, so they are very loosely packed, they are not rigid, not compact, and they can easily flow in all directions. Okay, then our second topic is intermolecular space. So when we talk about intermolecular space, it will be just opposite of intermolecular force. Just see. Intermolecular space. If we talk about solid, liquid and gases, solid, liquid and gases. Intermolecular space in case of solid will be least. Now you have to relate it. Just understand, if I say intermolecular force of attraction is maximum, it means space is least because the particles or the molecules are closely packed. Just see the diagram. The molecules of the solid are very tightly or closely packed. So it is very close to each other. It means least space between the molecules. So solid will be having least or minimum intermolecular space. Liquid will be having more than solid. Intermolecular force, liquid was having less, so space will be more. It is indirectly proportional. You can say force and space are opposite to each other. If force will be more, space will be less. If space is more, it means force is less. So liquid will be having more space as it is having less force of attraction between the particles, and that is the reason they flow. These are the arrangement of the particles or the molecules in liquid. Gases have maximum space. Maximum. So the particles will be very far from each other. And that is the reason they are very loosely packed. They are not rigid. They can be easily compressed and they flow very easily. So this is the relation in intermolecular force of attraction and intermolecular space. I repeat, intermolecular force is the force which hold the particles or the molecules together. Solids have maximum intermolecular force of attraction, liquids have less than solid, and gases have minimum or least force of attraction between the molecules. When we talk about intermolecular space will be minimum in solids because attraction is more. Then liquids will be having more space than the solids. You can see this is for solid, this is for liquid, and this is for gases. So gases will be having maximum space between the particles or the molecules as they have least force of attraction. This is for solid, this arrangement is for liquid, and this arrangement is for gases. Okay, so this is how you will prepare. So dear students, I am going to draw a flow chart which will help you to recall what you have learned in this chapter, and you will be easily understanding each and every topic included in this chapter. So the chart is like this. It starts with matter. Actually the name of the chapter is matter and its composition. So we started with the first topic as matter. I told you that matter is anything that occupies a space and has mass. Okay? So I said matter is anything that occupies a space and has mass. Then matter consists of what? Atoms. So we discussed about atom. Atom is the smallest unit of matter, or it makes matter. So matter consists of atom. Atom is the smallest unit of matter which may or may not exist independently but take part in a chemical reaction. Okay? Then atom makes what? Molecules. So this is what we have discussed. Molecule is again the smaller unit, but it also takes part in a chemical reaction. It is quite bigger than atom because molecule will be containing two or more atoms in them. Molecules are of two types. The first is molecule of an element, molecule of an element, and molecule of a compound. Here I told you the example in element like oxygen, hydrogen, etc. In the compounds I have given you the example of these. Okay. Then when we are talking about molecule, we also discussed about the arrangement of molecules in different types of matter like solid, liquid and gases. So here it is. First was intermolecular force of attraction and next was intermolecular space. So intermolecular force of attraction, and the second is intermolecular space, intermolecular force of attraction and intermolecular space. This flow chart is also given in your book. You can just draw it in your copy and you can understand the whole chapter in a better way. So as I have written this, next will be again discussing about the intermolecular force of attraction and intermolecular space. So just have a look here. I am going to write all the solid, liquid and gases. What is the effect of intermolecular force and intermolecular space on them? So the first is intermolecular force of attraction. What I said, dear students, for the solid, liquid and gases, if you try to recall what I have told you, solids, liquid and gases. Solids will be having maximum, yes, maximum force of attraction. Liquid will be having less than solid. What about gases? Gases will be having least or minimum force of attraction between their molecules. So it is minimum or least. Okay. Then I told you about intermolecular space. This also you can draw in your copy. Okay. Then the next is intermolecular space. Intermolecular space. Again for these three, solid, liquid and gases, it will be just reversed. Solid will be having minimum space between its molecule. Liquid will be having more than solid. Gases will be having maximum space between the molecules. Okay. So this is how it was all about the chapter matter and its composition. I am making you recall what you have learned in this chapter. See, the first topic was matter. I told you that matter is anything that occupies a space and has mass. How to prove that matter occupies a space and has mass? For proving that matter occupies a space, I have told you the activity with the glass tumbler which was filled with water kept in a bowl. Then put few pebbles in the glass filled with water. Some amount of water will fall in the bowl. This proves that matter occupies a space. The pebble has occupied a space in the glass of water, thus water falls down. Then the second was to prove that matter has mass. For this, I told you the activity based on spring balance and empty can. You can simply do this activity with an empty bucket at your home. If you take empty bucket in your hand itself and try to weigh it, it will be quite less in mass. Okay? But if you will fill the same bucket with water, what will you observe? It will be quite heavier. It means matter has mass. Then the next activity which I told you was for proving that air has mass and it occupies a space. I repeat, the next activity was for proving that air also has mass and it occupies a space. For that, I told you the activity based on a scale and two balloons which were inflated of the same size. One of the balloon was pricked with needle, then the scale was tilted towards the balloon which was still unpricked, means which is still having air in it, which proves that air also has mass and it occupies space. I also told you about type of matters where solid, liquid, gases, plasma and Bose-Einstein condensed state I told you. But you have to read about 3 states of matter which are solid, liquid and gases. For the plasma state, I told you the particles on sun and star are the example of plasma state. Talking about atom, molecule and then the arrangement of molecules in the matter. So I told that atom is the smallest unit which may or may not exist independently, but it takes part in a chemical reaction. Atom makes matter, means matter consists of atom. Then the next is molecule. Molecule is quite bigger than atom. Molecule are of 2 types. Molecule of an element, then molecule of a compound. If we talk about molecule of an element, we can give the example of oxygen and hydrogen molecules or nitrogen molecule. But when we talk about molecule of a compound, we can talk about water, sodium chloride, hydrogen chloride, etc. Then I told you about the arrangement of these molecules in the solid, liquid and gases. So solids, if we talk about intermolecular force of attraction is maximum in solid. Intermolecular force of attraction is less in liquids and minimum in gases. Intermolecular force of attraction, what is it? It is a force that holds 2 or more molecules or particles together. Then the last topic was intermolecular space. Intermolecular space is the space between the molecules. Solids have minimum space between their molecules. That is why they are completely compact, they are rigid, they are closely packed. Liquids have more space than the solids between their molecules, and gases have maximum space between the molecules, and thus gases can flow in any direction and they can be easily compressed. This is all about your first chapter of chemistry, which is matter and its composition. Go through the chapter, go through the video and see the activities given in your book. You can even perform the activities at home. You can write the topics and the definitions which I told you in this video to write in your copy. Still, if you face any problem in understanding any topic of this chapter, you can comment and ask. Thank you, dear students.